Hi, I'm Lynn.
And I'm Amanda, and this is the Pursuit of Badasserie, the podcast.
This podcast is all about taking action and creating that badass business abundance and life that you want.
Where we share stories, laughs, wins, and epic fails to show you the whole picture of the entrepreneurial journey.
It's not just unicorns and rainbows, people.
Jump on and follow us through this raw and witty roller coaster,
where we get down and dirty and go behind the scenes of life and entrepreneurship.
Get on it,
get over it,
and get after it.
Hey, I'm Lynn.
And I'm Amanda. Welcome to the Pursuit of Badasserie, the podcast. We are talking about the holidays, which I know seems strange in August. It is August. We fully acknowledge that. And this is the best time to talk about the holidays.
If you're listening to it when it comes out, because you're our subscribers and our people. By the way, you can be our people too, just subscribe button.
But, honestly, we feel very strongly that strategy comes with a little bit of planning, which means you're thinking ahead and not leaving everything to the last minute. The early bird catches the worm. And that is no more important than during the holiday season. If you are waiting till the end, till a weekend before to plan out your holiday strategy, you are leaving money on the table. And we are not about that.
Absolutely. And in some aspects, you're actually taking a couple steps back with your actual business itself. So first of all, why are we talking about this? The holiday buying season. Now, in the US and in some Western kind of countries, it's during the end of the year. Now, collectively, we're not all in the same year. Not everybody end year is, whatever. But more or less, the peak buying season for most areas of the world that are in consumerism is going to be the peak would be November to January, but it absolutely starts in September because the back to school is part of it's part of
Labor Day.
That's rolled into it. So, and it's for different reasons, Labor Day and all of that, but it's definitely that time. So it is the peak buying season. People typically see the majority of their if they're doing it right, the majority of their income coming in those months, the second half of the year.
And it's billions with a B, B for boy.
Yeah.
Billions of dollars are done in the months of September to early January across multiple industries. It's not just across retail or anything. It is a multi-billion-dollar time. So if you are not capitalizing, if you are not seeing an influx of money in those months, then you need to look at the way you are doing your sales process, because I don't care what business you have, what kind of business you have, it's extremely important if you're not seeing an influx of money between the months of September and January, we need to talk. We need to have a one-on-one talk about what's happening in your pricing model and your sales model, because those are the huge buying months, at least from a Western world scenario, from United States, Europe, Canada. That's huge, disgustingly huge.
No, absolutely. There's a couple of things. So we're definitely calling it the holiday, right? The importance of that holiday season, but also let's not forget it's the second half of the year. And so if we look at it and we take away, that's why it's impactful. I believe in all countries, regardless of their consumerism and their beliefs, if there's any type of small business or entrepreneurial, in even big market stores and different things like that, they capitalize on it. They do not, they have their plan for the next year, in January. Right. But it is the most shopping's happening during that time, especially the last couple of months of the year. But even like Amanda said, Labor Day is going to be that last hoorah in the US, for summer and this and that, back to school, lots of back to school. I remember all my back to school shopping. So it was the only time we got new clothes. Sometimes we didn't, but that's a whole other topic. So with that being said, it's also people in a business mindset, if we're not even looking, if we're looking at more services, people are wanting to check those boxes off before the end of the year. They want to accomplish their shit. They realize, oh my goodness, like it's a half a year and I haven't done my thing. So that's a bit of the psychology also behind, or like budgets, people that have budgets, like they need to spend that money, because if they don't spend it, then it's not allocated the next year. So the second half of the year is so important. I feel like we tend to like shy away from that. So that's again why we're doing this podcast. So it's not, even though we're going to be talking a lot about the holiday side, it is absolutely for those who don't celebrate the holidays as well. But it's that second half.
I love that you mentioned the second half of the year, not necessarily even from a consumer standpoint, but from a business owner standpoint. The second half of the year can make or break your expenditures, because if you're trying to create like do you have a surplus for the year? Are you trying to make up that budget? Like, even if you're in a corporate scenario, knowing that you have to hit a certain budget of expenditures can really change how you budget for the rest of the year. And as a business owner, as a multiple business owner, I usually meet with my CPA and accountants at this time during like Q3 and 4. And I say like, okay, what do I need to spend? And on what in the next 2 quarters to make sure I have the least amount of pay in the new year in taxes. So what am I spending now in order to put my business in the best place next year, not only from a tax perspective, but just from a depreciation perspective, just from a investment perspective. So it's not just a consumerism thing. It's knowing where your money is in your business. This is a really important time. And we're talking about holidays as a general. We're talking about like Christmas, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, Small Business Saturday, Labor Day sales, back to school sales, Halloween sales. Yes, I love my Halloween sales. Thanksgiving sale. Like it all lumps in New Year's resolution sales. Like all these things come into the lump of what's called that holiday season, which is generally Q4, but it feeds into Q3. And even though it feels like it's the end of the year blitz, it absolutely has an effect on what your Q1, your beginning of the year, is going to look like, and the rest of your year for the following year. And when I look at holiday promotions, I'm almost always 6 months in advance. I'm always looking 6 months ahead. Like, what's the next holiday? Like, there's always, at least I'm US based for the most. I have a global audience, but most of my clients, I would say like 70% of my clients are US based. Maybe 60% now, but either way, there's still holidays that come up. No matter where you are in the world, there's, National Dog Day. There's, National Ice Cream Day. It's International Forgiveness Day. Like there's so many random holidays. Everything has day. National Bourbon Day. Like they all have days. And depending on your business, you can capitalize on that, but only if you're thinking ahead. And knowing what your target is, knowing what those big sales days are, knowing how it's going to affect your business is everything that comes into play when you're thinking about those holiday promotions. And holiday can be whatever you want in this context, but we're mostly talking about Q3 and Q4. But it trickles down. It's not just about getting a quick buck and a quick influx of cash. It really does trickle down into more than just a few extra bucks in December.
No, absolutely. I know this is one of your favorite things. For those that are more product based, this is the time that you really clear your inventory. You out with the old, in with the new type of thing. So this is a really important strategy during this time for many reasons. One, you don't want to be holding on to that for tax reasons and different depreciation and blah, 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 blah.
Inventory.
Inventory, but also it allows space for the new to come, right? So you can refresh, then you have a whole other like sales game. Oh, we're back in stock, blah, 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 blah. So there's all this other stuff, but clearing inventory. And I know that you've used this one a lot more just because of the type of businesses that you have. Mine have been a bit more service-based, but we did do it with like our alarm company and different things like that because we had inventory. So we would do that. Mm-hmm. But I know you can talk a lot about that.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. From a product perspective, for anybody who's ever had to do end of year inventory and like report it to your CPA.
Oh, it sucks.
Get rid of the inventory. Just get rid of it. Oh my gosh. And from a more, it's part woo-woo, part business, but there's something stagnant about having the same t-shirt on the shelf that you had 3 years ago. if it didn't sell 3 years ago and it hasn't sold in the last 3 years, it's not going to sell. And if you're going to get rid of it, like slash and burn, get rid of it, because at that point and hopefully you priced it right in the first place so that you're going to make money off that 50% discount that you're going to give it for. People are going to buy it because it's the holidays and they need that discount, but you're still going to hopefully make money off of it. But even still, it's refreshing. It's giving a new facelift to what you have. If you have products, you want to create that new excitement, new merchandise coming in, a new reason to look through the shelves and to like flick through what you have. It all trickles down. And this is the perfect time to be looking at. And I would say it's August and people were like, it's a little bit early to look at our new year inventory and to look at, no, it's not. It's actually a little bit late to be looking at that, because at this point, if you're going to order, taking into consideration shipping and how things change during the holidays, you want to get that new influx of merchandise earlier, because you'd rather have it before you need it than be late and have some sort of like Christmas merchandise come in on the 26th of December. You want to have stuff earlier. And that's why you see people even more and more. You'll see some of the bigger companies doing these like Black Friday sales in September and October, because they're trying to start that idea of buying stuff earlier so that shipping doesn't become a problem right towards the end of the year. You will see more and more companies shifting when they start their holiday promotions earlier and earlier. And
we've seen it in our lifetime. We've seen it.
Think about it.
Christmas comes out in freaking July at this point.
No. The first time I saw Christmas out for sale in Texas, United States, was June 9th. June 9th. I actually marked it. I even saved the video of like, actually I have one that saved like June 11th, even like June 11th, fully stocked Christmas selection in the store. To the point where my kid was like, what is happening here? Like, why don't they understand? And my 6-year-old even said, like, don't they understand chronological order? And I'm like, I know, son, I know. But that's what's happening now. They're shifting earlier and earlier to handle the influx of purchasing, because they know there's going to be more purchasing. They know there's going to be more shipping demand. They know there's going to be more scarcity and fear of missing out. And so they're shifting their timelines earlier and earlier to accommodate for that growing increase of consumerism that's happening even more and more. So get on that bandwagon. It's happening. And if you refuse to acknowledge it and you don't want to be part of it, then fine, but you're going to miss out on a lot of money.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you, if you refuse to do a Black Friday sale because everybody's doing a Black Friday sale, suck it up, Buttercup. Get on the bandwagon. Don't be like me and refuse to invest in computers because nobody's going to get a computer. No, like jump on.
The things that we let slip through our fingers, but that's a whole other podcast, Amanda. Anyway,
tragic. It's tragic, folks.
Oh, it is. You imagine, but we are where we're supposed to be because the choices that we made, and I would not change us.
I would not, but I would go back and rebuy that Apple stock. Oh, man. I would go back to buy that.
Anywho, everything that Amanda just said, one other aspect to all of that is the creativity that you can lean into because of the holiday, and then you play on people's emotions and different aspects of that. But I think, during this time, especially the second half, there are a lot of cards that you can pull out and be really creative with it, especially during the Christmas season to stand out, or that holiday, like really intense buying season, November to the beginning of January. Because remember also there is and I don't know in every region, but also a lot of rings, engagement rings are purchased at the end of the year as well.
Oh yeah. It's one of the most popular times to propose to somebody's Christmas,
New Year's, and then
Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day is like that. So, but those three, that trifecta is the most proposed to dates. It used to be. I don't know if it still is, but
it still is.
And so that's why jewelers can get they are promoting that, but you can get really creative and let your freak flag fly, as we like to say, in the creative aspect, to be able to like capitalize and stand out, but you're also riding the wave of others. So you're able to use others' coattails, if you would, but the creativity part is going to help you stand out because there are more eyes on you. at this point, and you have the ability to stand out in a crowd more versus be a needle in a haystack that somebody kind of stumbles upon because they're not really looking for it. But during this time, people are a bit more aware, even if they don't understand that they're aware. So you're able to leverage that creativity a lot more. And that's why, like, those stores that are actually putting out their Christmas stuff, they want to be first in June, but they're also everything that Amanda said. But I can tell you, those that are selling the most in June and July are those that are leaning into the creativity part, or they understand that the target in which they live with, this is going to sound really mean, but I'm going to say it anyway, or they live in an area where there's a bunch of cat ladies who have their decorations up all year round. Like those type of people, like they're capitalizing on their market. And I say that's with love because I have cat ladies. I mean, if I had a cat,
You can say it with
I would be
hate.
a cat lady because I live alone. So
You can say it with hate, but the point is they are leaning into that and not shying away from what is happening. Because ultimately, and I'll say this from a US standard, you know Christmas is coming. And whether or not, I don't care what your religious beliefs are, you know this is a big spending time, so lean into it. Accept, acknowledge, know that it's coming, prepare for it, lean into that, and really accept the amount. People are more willing to spend this time of year on frivolous emotional purchases. They're 100 times more willing. That's my own percentage. That's not a statistic percentage. That's just my percentage. They're way more willing to purchase large, emotional, frivolous purchases in October, November, December than any other time. It is so much easier. And I will say this until I blue it in the face, until my grave, I will say this. People buy with emotion and they justify with logic. And this is an emotional time of year. And I'm not saying we're trying to prey on people's emotions, but from a business perspective,
you're leveraging, not praying.
You're leveraging this season. And this season is a bit more emotional. It's sentimental. It's the season.
Nostalgic.
It's nostalgic. It's your family. It's love. It's joy. Come on now. If you can't sell something in the Christmas season, I need you to get it together because this is the time. This is the time to push on emotions. That's why so many large purchases can happen this time of year, because you are feeding on the emotion of how someone's going to feel and the joy in the season and what it's going to bring. So why not be part of that? Lean into that. Yeah. If you are resisting that, you're going to see a huge loss in the potential of money you could get. Lean into that feeling of Christmas spirit, and not in a manipulative way. You can just as easily use your powers for good as you can for evil. And you can help people find the thing, whatever it is you sell, product or service, that's going to light someone's day when it comes to giving it. So lean into that emotional sell, because this is the time to sell emotionally. Buy and sell emotionally this time.
Absolutely. And it's interesting when you're saying that. And I know I've used this before in the consulting, but kind of as an example for the service is like, we're in consulting, right? We do consulting. And yes, we work a lot with entrepreneurs, but we also work with corporations and C-suites and different things like that. And so we absolutely will leverage what they're going through, seeing a lot of money go out, a lot of spending. Maybe they're not having the income that they want. They're not hitting the numbers that they want, et cetera, et cetera. So we're going to be using that in our conversations with them to get them to buy our services, because we know that we can be the solution for that, right? So it's not just this holiday season. If you look at it from different angles, the holiday season creates this frenzy. And so are you utilizing that frenzy, product, service, believe in the Christmas spirit or not? It's still facts are facts. And a lot of people are buying during this time. And if you are in a community that does not celebrate Christmas, you can still use it because it's the end of the year. There's all other aspects to it. And are you capitalizing? Because even if you are in a community where they don't celebrate Christmas, I live in a Buddhist country. Christmas is not necessarily a Buddhist thing, right? But you walk out, you see Christmas things everywhere. They're getting people into the holiday spirit. Even the majority of the people who live here do not celebrate Christmas. Like traditionally, they might have adopted it into their family household, but it's not a thing. But they are absolutely capitalizing on that frenzy. Absolutely. So how can you capitalize on it? That energy, that frenzy, and be able to move your business and stop leaving money on the table during the holiday season, people. Like, stop it. I mean, in general, but definitely holiday season.
And the whole time you're talking, I'm thinking of the song Shark in the Water, like, baby, there's a shark in the water. Like, this is what this is. The holidays, it's shark in the water. There is blood in the water. Be part of the frenzy or you're going to get eaten up.
Pretty much.
I'd rather be the shark personally.
Oh, no, I'm going to have baby shark in my head. Thanks a lot, Amanda.
Oh my God.
Mama shark.
Now you've got that in my head. Thanks a lot.
You're welcome for everybody else who now has baby shark in their mind. Dang. Anywho, we are at time. We want you to capitalize on. And if you don't have a strategy or you're not sure where to go, please reach out to us. DM us. We're across all the platforms, the Pursuit of Badasserie with IE.com. Share this with somebody in your network or multiple people in your network who could definitely use this kind of nudge and this aha moment. Like, we want to help you. So let us know your questions. And if you need help, this is our jam. This is what we do for a living outside of the holiday season, inside the holiday season. But this is literally what we do and what we love and what we're damn good at. So Dima, slide into the girls' DMs, slide into our DMs. Hit us up. Hit us up.
Slide in.
Slide in. No pics, please. So like,
you had to go there. You had to go there.
I mean, first time. Even if it's products or services, because we just never know nowadays, but we don't judge. We're still going to help you make some money. Just be respectful. Anyway, hit subscribe, share this along. Let us know what you took away. We know we can be comical and witty at times. Maybe sometimes a little. We think of ourselves a little bit more than what we come across, but we love what we do. We
don't hate, we appreciate. If you have a business, we want to help you sell more in that business.
100%.
Anyway, let us know if you have any more questions on this, and please reach out to us because we love helping businesses grow and earn more and make the most out of their holiday season, because this is the time to make that money, honey.
Yeah. Cha-ching. All right. Till next time, everybody.
Get after it.
All right, everyone. It's not enough to just listen.
Now you've got to put it into action.
We are so excited to see what you do next.
If you enjoyed our show, please leave us a review on iTunes.
And to find out more about what we're doing, visit us at thepursuitofbadasserie.com.